Howdy, everyone. Matt here. I got a question for you. Do you think influencers, like in the rehab world, have an obligation to help promote the profession that they are in? Or maybe not? Let's talk about it. All right, everyone. First and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I am Matt the PT, coming at you with another video, another topic of something from the physical therapy world. This one, like I said, do you think when someone online, an influencer, a content creator, reaches a certain point with the followers, of subscribers, or whatever, that they should give back to that profession to help foster and to grow it and to make it a better profession for the other people that they deal with? Now, this kind of was sparked by a conversation I happened to overhear, and some individuals were talking about it, and I just kind of picked it up, and I've just thought about it for a while. But they were upset that there was an individual, I don't know who it was they were talking to, and I didn't join in on their conversation, but they were upset that there were some large influencers out there with like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of followers, and saying like, they never help us with anything. They never help promote the profession or help the profession spread any sort of message or anything out there. And I'm just kind of listening to that, and I've just pondered it upon myself and thought a little bit about that. And that's what I want to talk about. And of course, please, I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your beliefs. Please share that all down in the comments below about this. So when I talk about influencers or content creators, I want to kind of put them in two categories. We have one, I'm going to say that's more of a inward facing. So you're facing more of your profession that you're in. So like physical therapy, I create content that's faced more towards the PT world or other people in OT or just rehab in general. So that's what I'm doing. That's who my demographic, and that's who I have in mind when I'm creating something. And I can see that there is an outward facing people, content creators or influencers, that they're creating information, something to spread out to like the general public. And of course, overall with content creation, you're trying to entertain. Really, the basis of it is entertainment. Are you trying to make someone laugh? Are you going to educate somebody on something? That is what you are ultimately doing. You're providing some form of entertainment in some form or fashion. And that's what it is. You see that these people grow, they can gain that, like I said, influence, where you have the people who look at you, you watch your content, engage with it, and that they find that you're entertaining. And I hope individuals find myself entertaining. I try to be as best I can. But you can be able to promote things or to sell products. That's what companies reach out about. Hey, we'd like you to sell our product. We'd like you to promote our product to the people that follow you. And you can see that that's something very good for, again, those people. And looking at this, we talk so much about the profession. So much goes on in the world of physical therapy and, outside of just treating people, the stuff that we really deal with. And that does propose the question of, is there a bit of an obligation that you have this large voice, that should you use some of it to try to help it, to try to help your peers, those people that are around you, that you work with, the ones that watch you, the next generation coming up? Should you use some of that to help, make a change in what's going on? And I can see this can be on like kind of two areas as well. And I can see it on the one hand where it's like, possibly you should, because there's so much out there. Whenever, I am involved at the state level and a little bit at the national level, to say, there's these things that go on that affect not only how I practice, but with my colleagues, my friends, peers, hey, I need to do something to help it. And so not only should, just try to spread the word with my colleagues, should you use that to spread it with more people, because you have a larger voice. And they can see it on like on the other side. If you're someone who has, is very outward facing to the public, should you let them know about things that go on? Because you have a level of trust. The people that watch you trust you and believe in you, and they want to support you. And so they could support you by helping support the profession. Think about like the changes that go on with Medicare. If you're someone who has a very large outward facing, to let people know, hey, these changes are coming up. Can you call your representative? This is how you can call and talk to them and let them know, because this is going to possibly affect you and your ability to access or utilize healthcare services, because it may not be, me exactly that you're coming in to see, but the therapists that you go out and that you see in your communities, or likewise kind of facing in to say, hey, to get more people on board, on to help the profession, to make things stronger, to get involved, to just help things overall. And that if you do have that large voice, again, how much of that should you give back? I hope I can influence you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Back to the video. But there's this other side, and really have to take in consideration on it, is that when you're a content creator, an influencer, or whatnot, that's like a business. It's something that you've created, that you put your effort and time into, and you can do whatever that you want with it. You honestly can. If you want to do this, you can. If you want to do that, you can. You're trying to create content to be entertaining as well. And maybe the stuff, if I come up with stuff like that, is it going to be engaging and entertaining that people actually pay attention to it? Or are they not? They're just going to tune out. Or likewise, this thing comes up to say, like, if you start talking about something that you can lose the audience because you can be viewed as like, oh, you've changed now. You're doing this now, that you're just speaking to this other stuff that maybe you've been, feel like you got bought off, or, you're too commercial now. It's something along those lines. And can really see that there's two sides of that. So yes, one, to give back to everything, but two, you do have that choice. With that being said, I myself think ultimately it falls upon that person. If that person wants to promote something for the profession, to be an ambassador, to spread the message of it, yes, you can do that. But if you don't want to, or you don't feel that you're going to do a good job of it, you don't really have to. I know for myself, I try to spread it to others and talk to, like these issues like this. Let's talk with, have this conversation. And I think that's very important that we spread it. There's a lot of negativity in the world, and especially like in our profession. And I think a lot of it, if we start having these open dialogues and talking about things, could things possibly be better? More of us coming together. I do like to spread it out toward the public. I have a little bit of facing out toward the public, but just to talk to them about what goes on in rehab and how the stuff that is facing, that we are facing, can affect them as well, to let them know, hey, if we need your help to help you to provide something there. But I can see it can be very hard for someone like, if your business of what you do is content creation and you have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, that may not be something you want to do because it doesn't flow with what you do. Like I said, it would be nice if large, followers, I think that could be something beneficial. I think it could help. It could be something nice. Hey, throw some stuff out there. Help the profession. Help that new generation that's coming up. Help it make it a little bit better for them. That's how I look at things. I want to make it better for those people coming behind me. So with all that being said, let me know your opinions, your beliefs, your thoughts, all down in the comments below. Please just talk about it. Let's have a discussion on it. Do you think people should promote it, at least in some capacity, to try to help make it better? Or maybe not, just to say no. They have the freedom to do whatever. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a copay or anything like that. And until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of your patients. I'll see you then.